then go ahead and call a regular joint meeting back in Wally v. Auburn.
I would like to call to order the meeting of the WLBA board at this time. I think that it should be said now that this is an open meeting. That does not mean that it's open to discussion from those of you attending. It means that we must conduct our business in open session before the people. And that's what we will be doing. It's highly unlikely, because of the length of our agenda, that you would be recognized tonight and be allowed to address the board or this body. So you might keep that in mind.
That's ridiculous. That's why we're here.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Let me read from our code. Code number.
So what night can we get the board
Code
together?
number 213. Citizen wishing to address the board on a certain agenda item may notify the superintendent, must notify the superintendent prior to the board meeting.
So we have to make a special appointment to have everybody here to have our meeting?
That is correct.
So we need to make an appointment with Barb to do that?
There's no citizen's opportunity to address the council or the board on items not on the agenda.
Not
No.
in board policy.
No.
What you would do would be to let me know that you wanted to be on the agenda of the next board meeting.
Well, I'd like to do that right now, and I'd like everybody else to be present at that meeting. The board recognizes the importance of citizen participation in school district matters. How important is our voice tonight?
Obviously not.
Does anybody agree? Anybody here? In order to assure citizens are heard and board meetings are conducted efficiently and in an organized manner, the board will set time aside for citizen participation, either at a specific time during the meeting or during the discussion of agenda items. Citizens wishing to address the board on a certain agenda item must notify the superintendent prior to the board meeting. I don't want to talk to you about anything that's on the agenda.
We're not going to be talking about things that aren't on the agenda.
But here
So
it says
if you have something that you would like to discuss with the board, then you make an appointment to be on the agenda at the next meeting, and you will be given time to address the board.
Maybe about what some others want to talk about after, but it has nothing to do with it.
the same thing as the termination recommendation. Sure.
Well, we're going to move on here. If you two want to have a discussion, or if anybody wants to have a discussion, you can take it out of this meeting room. But we're going to proceed with the meeting. Thank you.
Well, then, before the board hasn't started,
That
right?
is
So I want...
What do you mean? This meeting is called to order now. It's already been called to order.
Even if we want to talk about something else here on this, we can't now.
It's on what?
It's on your agenda.
No. This hearing was for the purpose of talking about the innovative calendar. That's all that the hearing was for. Now that hearing is closed. We have moved to our regular board meeting.
For the agenda, right?
That's right.
So anything that's on the agenda, we can talk about with you.
If you're recognized,
Okay. So in other words, we have to have the appointment to be recognized about what's on the agenda. And if we don't have that with Barb, we can't be recognized. Is that what I'm
How
saying?
many people were under that impression before you came to this meeting? How many were not under that impression when you came to that meeting? Okay. How many just don't want to say anything because of the situation we're in?
as we proceed through the agenda, if there's an item on the agenda that you want to address the board about, you can be recognized by whoever is in control of the meeting at that time, and you'll be given 2 minutes to address the board. And it should be noted here also that we may not discuss personnel. That's against the law. And we're not here to discuss the sharing program. If that's part of your agenda, you'll have to make an arrangement to get on the agenda about that at a later meeting.
Mine isn't about personnel, mine's about salary in particular.
Well, if you relate that to an individual who everybody knows about, then it is about personnel. So I think we should proceed with the agenda items.
Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda as we have in front of us? Having heard none, I would entertain a motion from the SAC board to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting. Does anyone have any questions? If there is none, I would also entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Gentlemen, will you approve the agenda then?
Yeah. That's right.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 9th.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from February 9th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You have in front of you the bills and the financial report.
If you go to the last page of your bills and financial report are the monthly checks, and just the monthly statement. I don't really have comments about much of anything that's on there because they're not very good bills. ICGA Inc. Is registration and fees for honor choir. If you didn't recognize what that was for. I just might make a note that down where the vendor is Paper Corporation and it lists supplies. That would be paper supplies for one semester for the district. And full compass systems on the back side of that page up toward the top for $214.21. That's a company that we don't typically do business with, but we've had one of our wireless mics had to have some repair done to it. Otherwise, the bills are pretty.
What's the rental for the Iowa State Bank? Down bottom.
Frank, you're going to
Safety deposit box for
answer that question.
abstracts and the things that's important that are kept in there.
Any other questions?
What is the instruction?
We just electronic materials that we get or resources that we get for technology.
I see we got a teacher quality payment. Was that any of that money reduced for state cuts? Is that one of the areas that they were talking about cutting?
They're not talking about cutting.
Oh, they're not
teacher
talking
quality,
about it.
no.
Oh.
They took some of the voluntary preschool schools that were applying for voluntary preschool grants, and they fully funded at this point. We've received, every payment has been what we've expected it to be. We've made an agreement with education associations that we look the month before the last teacher quality payment. If there's any change, that will take place there. If they're getting across the board cut with teacher quality, it looks like it's about $80 a teacher is what the average across Iowa would be.